Hi guys, it's Erin with Hand Stamped Style, and today I am going to show you what we made for our monthly Hostess Club meeting. We made this cute little set. It's a little Valentine card and a little treat box. It's a triangle box and you can fit all kinds of stuff inside, so I'm going to show you how to make these. We're going to start off with the card. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your cardstock. This is just a regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock, and you're going to fold it in the middle. It's scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to take your full heart punch. I was looking for it here. And I always do these upside down, so what you're going to want to do is I put it in just as far as it will go, to the point where it actually stops on the punch. And I just select a place that I want it to be, and then I punch it out. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are actually going to make our little heart that goes inside. So you're going to take some Whisper White cardstock, and this is a stamp from the, I just got this, P.S. I Love You set. I love this set, and it's out of the new Occasions mini catalog. And you're gonna do your hearts. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 of them because we'll actually need both of them for each project. There we go. I'll set that aside. Then I'm just gonna take my heart with that full heart punch again, and you're gonna punch it out. You're actually gonna want to punch out both of them. I cut this one kind of small, so I don't know. Here's a little trick, actually, I'll show you. If your cardstock is too small to handle it while it's in the punch, you just stick a little sticky note on it and it becomes like a little handle. And then you'll just center it in your punch and punch it out. Okay? We'll set that one down. This one actually might be long enough for me to get it in there. Okay, I'll put that one to the side. All right, then what we're going to do is we're actually going to emboss through the center like our sample was. I don't know if you can see, it's got those little tiny hearts from the Occasions Mini as well, and it is the new, oh, I forget what it's called. It's the embossing folders that are in that, and they're kind of tiny. They're meant just for the edges, or like borders kind of. So they're kind of thinner and longer, and really, really cool. I love, love, love embossing folders. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make our sandwich. First we're going to figure out if we've got this on the right tab. So you want to have both tabs open, and none of your tabs on the edge. And you can look at the pictures and they'll tell you which ones you're supposed to use. And then what we're going to do is sandwich this embossing folder right through the middle. And something I learned is if you make sure the edge is right in the binding of that embossing folder, it's kind of, once it's stuck in there, it's stuck in there. If it's in the corner or along the edge really straight, then you'll know that it'll emboss straight on your card. And I want it to go straight through the heart, so I did it that way. So you'll just feed it in. You want to make sure your card is open, that it's not folded shut. If you fold it shut, on the back side, once you run it through, it'll have like a big crease from the embossing folder's edge. So you want to make sure it's open, and then you just crank it through, easy as that. Let me get this machine out of my way. And then you take this off, and there you've got your embossing. Super easy and so cute. Okay, so then we're going to add some adhesive to our heart, our stamped heart image. And this really wasn't hard to put in. All I really did was I shut my card and laid it down in the opening that I created with that punch, and then I just kind of hold it down while I work the card around it, and it's in the perfect spot for you to have an opening. Then I'm going to take some ribbon and I tied it along this wider side of the card, closer to the top of that embossed area. And you're just going to tie a knot, because those are the easiest things to do. Unless it's black ribbon and you can't see the edge. Oops. All right, let me try that again. We are going to tie a knot. The satin ribbon's kind of hard to hang on to. There we go. You'll see it in a second here once I actually move my hands. Okay, and then we're going to take our scissors and trim off the edge of our ribbon. There we go. Get rid of all the excess fuzzy fuzz. Okay, and we've got our ribbon on. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to take, with the glitter paper, the red glitter paper, I used my 3 heart punch and punched out 3 of the hearts. I gotta tell you, I love, love, love me some glitter paper. So, so cute. Okay, so we're gonna look for some dimensionals. We're gonna put those on the back and just place them around. I'll put this one here. And the larger one, I'm gonna try and fit closer to the ribbon. Okay. There we go. And this little tiny one, I actually used Tombo glue on because it's super small. So trying to get, you know, snail or a dimensional on there would have been kind of hard. So I just kind of set it there. And then we're going to do our sentiment. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to take a little piece of Whisper White cardstock. And I chose, there's actually like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different sentiments in this stamp set. I took this one that says Be My Valentine, and I just inked it up with black, basic black ink on some Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to take my window word punch, and I'm going to center my sentiment on there. See that? Punch that out. Then I'm going to use the Tombo glue again, and I took the glitter paper again and punched out one of these shapes with the, I believe it's called the Modern Label punch. I get the Modern Label and the Designer Label mixed up, those two, but it is this shape. And then if you can pick it up without getting glue on you, and we're just going to center this onto the glitter paper. Give that a second to dry. Then we're going to take 2 of our dimensionals, place those on the back, make sure they're down, take off the backing, okay, make sure it's right side up, and I just placed it right, oh, see, mine's not dry yet. It right on the card there. I'm going to set that aside to dry a little bit. And the only other thing I did was I went back afterwards and I just added a little bit of the cherry cobbler. As you can see, I use mine a lot. The cherry cobbler dazzling details. And I filled in all the hearts. I don't know if you can see, I did that one, but I filled in most of the big fat hearts. Where's my example? If you can see, there's just so much glitter and glimmer to this card. I love it. Okay, so that's the card. Easy as that. Now the next thing we're going to make is this cute little box here, this triangle box. And it is actually really, really easy to make. I use the same dimensions as a card. Just because it's easier and you get 2 per sheet, but you can make them any size. If you're good with math, then you can make them any size. And I'm going to kind of show you how I score these real quick. Hopefully you can see the numbers on my ruler. You might not be able to. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to score this halfway mark. I have to move this up. Okay, so we're going to score it at 5.5 because that would be the center of our card. I'm not used to doing this upside down. Okay, so 5.5. And then what we're going to do is I just take the cardstock and I don't fold it, but I bend it to find my halfway, to find my halfway point. So I hold my ends together and I just I make a little crease, okay? And I do that on both sides. Make sure it's halfway or it won't really close that great. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to line the little crease up with what is that called? The groove in your paper cutter. Now, right now, the only way we can do this is with our paper cutter, but we just found out that we are having a diagonal insert for the Simply Scored that will be available, I think it's March 1st. I gotta look and make sure. So that'll make this much easier to be able to do on the Simply Scored. So as you're holding this in the groove, you're just gonna line up, I don't know if you can quite see, the corner of my score line is on the same groove. And you're just going to take it and score it all the way down. Then you're going to keep it here and you're going to rotate it until the edge hits the other score, or the other, oops, the other side. Just like that. So you made a triangle. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Put this right on your halfway mark. It's easier for me to go up. Okay, and then you hold it here and pivot. There you go. And now you've got it all scored for your little box. Okay? Then, let me lay this down. You are going to take a bone folder and you're going to want to score, or excuse me, fold really well on all of your score lines because we are going to emboss this as well. And one thing I have come to find out is that if you don't fold really well on your score lines, if you emboss on top of those lines, they almost disappear. They don't keep their memory. So if you want to be able to put your box back the way it was or the way it's supposed to go, or whatever project you're working on, you have to fold on your score lines before you send it through that big shot. Okay? And we are only going to emboss the bottom portion of our treat box. I don't know if you guys can see, I only did the bottom of that one. So we're going to do just like we did the card. We're going to feed. And a trick I always do, I always tell my my class attendees that you want to make sure that you can actually read the bottom, you know, the information on the die, the Stampin' Up logo and the Sizzix logo. If you can read it, then it will pop up at you and it will look right. If you want the depressed version of it, then you just need to do it backwards. So again, I am going to make sure that this is in the very corner, butted up against the edge there, and that will ensure that I am going to get a straight emboss. And again, you're going to want to lay it flat, don't fold it over, put your sandwich pieces together. The great thing is, once that cardstock's in there, as far as in the embossing folder, especially this heart one, it doesn't really move. So you don't really have to worry about it shifting or moving while it's in there. Okay, and then you just shoot this through. Okay, let me pull this out. And we're going to do both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot it through a second time. Now, to get them to line up when the box is closed, what I did is, sorry I'm like twisting this all around on you, once I embossed one side, I folded it in half and kind of tried to match up the pattern with the embossing folder itself. So I think I've got it right there, okay? And of course it doesn't have to be exact. As long as you get it really close or pretty close, you'll be fine. Okay, and then you run it right back through. And again, let me get rid of this machine. And voila, now we've got our hearts on both sides. Okay, and they match up pretty well. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put together our little heart emblem that goes on the box itself. And what I did is I punched out this embosslet, and I love, love, love these things because it not only cuts it out for you, but it embosses it at the same time. And this is the scalloped heart. So you just put a piece of cardstock in here, fold it shut, and there's a side here that says place this side down. So you're going to place this side down on the die, sandwich it in between your cutting plates, and run it through. Okay? And then you end up with this. I don't know if you can see those little bumpies. It has like, it's the coolest thing ever. Okay? So what I did is I actually adhered this to the flat side and left the bumpies outside because this actually will move around, and it's kind of nice for whoever gets it to kind of see the little detail there. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive to get the ribbon fibers off. And again, I'm going to attach it to my heart, just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to take my 1/16 inch hole punch and just punch a hole in my heart there. Punch a hole in my heart, and I'm also going to punch a hole at the very top right here. And later we'll put baker's twine through it and it'll hang. And you could even write something on the back too if you wanted to for that person. And now we're going to do the bottom portion of our box. I'll attach this later. I don't know if you guys want to see me like put baker's twine through a hole. It's kind of like watching paint dry. Okay, so I went and took 2 strips of the glitter paper and I ran them through, can't grab the other one, there we go. And I ran them through my, I always get this one mixed up with the other scallop. It's the Scallop border, I don't remember exactly, but I'll post it on the bottom here. You'll be able to see it. But it's the one with the holes in it. And I just want to put it along the bottom, along the edge there. So I'm going to take some snail adhesive here, and I'm just going to run it. And you don't want to actually run it to the very edge because you're going to cut the edges off because they're going to overhang a little bit. I like to put it on too long and then trim off whatever excess I have. So put that down, and then I'm going to get the next one. Okay. I'm going to put that one on the same way. Then what I do is I fold it like this, and I cut off the excess of that one, and I fold it this way. And normally I would do this so that I could see it. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Fold it this way, trim off excess, fold it this way, trim off excess. And there we have a perfect edge to our glitter. And this box is actually going to close like this, and some people are always confused, like, is it supposed to look like this? Yes, it is, because your edges are flat, or straight I should say. So they will look like that. So what you'll want to do to be able to close this is you'll actually want to hold together 2 of your sides, open this end up, hold together 2 of your sides, and I use my Crop-A-Dile. And I don't know if you can see that it's got 2 different sizes. It's got a large on this side and a smaller hole punch on this side. This top portion is for eyelets, so we won't even use this. We're looking at the sides. So we're going to use the large hole because it's easier to get the ribbon through. So you're going to hold together 2 of your sides, and I preset mine, the lock on it, so that it only lets my cardstock go this far. And that's really easy. You have these removable, or these, I don't know, they are movable. You unscrew it a little bit, and then you can move this little guide. You can see that there. And then when you get it where you want it, you just tighten the screw down, and it won't let your cardstock go any further. So I have mine set. Oh, and then you just want to feed the 2 ends. It's so hard to do with one hand. That's how I do it. I hold it like that. feed that through, and then you're just going to punch. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. Open this up, hold your box, and punch. Then you've got your holes for your ribbon, and you just feed your ribbon through. And then once you feed your ribbon through and you tie on your heart, this is what you end up with. And then you can untie this and fill this with anything you'd like, candy, bath salts, whatever. But that's how it looks, and then you end up with these super cute, adorable little projects. So I hope you like that, and I hope you run out and try to make some of your own. Thanks so much. Bye.